All right, am I in the right Zoom now? Everybody hear me?
I got you good.
Okay, excellent. All right, I'll give it a minute for everybody to get on here. So is anybody that, hey Jesse, how you doing, man? Jesse, 10-4, baby. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Very good. Very good.
Everybody having fun?
Loving it, man. Living the dream, baby. Living the dream.
Living the dream. Every day.
Right, get my speaker view going up here. Okay. We'll give it just a minute because I'm going to try to get John Sy over here as well, just to speak to us for a minute and just share some stuff that everybody probably wants to talk about. He'll probably join us in a minute. So thanks everybody for showing up here. I think I'm waiting for somebody else. Is everybody here? Everybody's here. I will say this, if anybody here is not, can you see me okay, Jesse?
No, I cannot. Let me.
Okay. Am I,
There we go.
can you see me?
I can see you now.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm in the right, because I've been on several different Zooms today. So if anybody here is, first of all, before I forget, if anybody is not attending the 1 o'clock our time here, Central Time, Wednesday, half hour of power with John Sy, I highly suggest that you do that. So that is a call once a week. That's just before this call. And it's probably just wrapping up right now. I was just on there and I noticed that Chanel in our group was there. And there was probably another 20, I'm sorry, there's probably like another 40 or 50 people. And what we were talking about, I'm gonna talk about a little bit today. You know, as you guys know, we're trying to follow the format of the book, Jesse, and today we're gonna talk a little bit about accountability. And I'm gonna also talk about why that, for me, that's so important right now and what that means and what that looks like. And a couple, you know, and this is what they talked about on the last call. We had Michael Ireland, who's he's an icon. He just got the Icon Award. He's been in the business for, I don't know, 25 plus years. He's seen several market downturns and cycles. And he was talking to us about the difference between a good market and a changing market that we're in right now. And some of the stuff that he said was very, very powerful. I've been through one of the market shifts myself. I actually got into real estate, got my license in 2004. Things were great for a couple of years. And then as we know, we had the Great Recession, and that was driven by real estate financing and the real estate market. So the first thing that I want to do, and this, like I said, I do these calls for myself, and Jesse and I do these for ourselves as much as we do for you, you know, it's a daily reinforcement of mindset. This all has to do with mindset. Everything that we do, that I do, is all about mindset. If my mindset is good and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I'm following my schedule, I'm being accountable to myself and my accountability groups, I feel so much better about myself. Everything seems to work out. So when it comes to mindset, I know for me, I had a really messed up mindset yesterday and today. And why is that? Because I'm buying into all the bullshit. I'm buying into other people's negativity. And for one day, I kind of got off course. And I was that way when I got into the office this morning. And I reached out to John and I said, John, I can't pick up the phone this morning. And he knows what that's all about. He's been making calls for 10 years. And I said, what do I say to people? And he said, the same thing you always do. I go, oh yeah, that's right. Thank you. So then I picked up the phone. I started making phone calls. You know, out of the first 10 calls that I made, every one of them was actually a good phone call. This is an expired day, by the way, people. These are the days that I look forward to because there's more expired and canceled listings on the first of the month every month than there is any other day of the year. So every first of the month is the best day for me, in my opinion, to start calling expires and canceled because there's an endless supply of them in most markets. There will be a huge supply in all the markets. I know there is in ours all the time anyway. But there's a lot of people right now that are pulled off the market. And out of the first 10 people I talked to, I had one or two, all of them were actually very happy to talk. They were not, you know, hanging up on me and pissed off because I'm calling in this pandemic or whatever. They, you know, I want to find the gold nuggets, the motivation out of those people. I want to find the ones that are motivated. If they're not motivated, you know, you're not going to be able to help them anyway. But I found one guy that's motivated, and I'm going to run the numbers on his property and see if I can get him to list it on the private listing network until showings start again. Because why? He wants to sell his house. Okay, and let's look at that real quick, just for the mindset purposes. Most of us are in this market, and when I say this market, the Chicagoland suburban market. And I'm going to share my screen just to give you an idea of what kind of things I look at to reinforce my mindset that the world's not coming to an end. There's still transactions taking place, blah, blah, blah. So what I've done here is I went into the MLS. Everybody see this? Am I sharing my screen, Jesse?
Yep, good.
Jesse is also our technical advisor, by the way, if you haven't noticed. Handles all that stuff for me. So this is the MLS. This is our MLS, Jesse. I know you're in California. You might have something a little fancier because you're in Silicon Valley, but this is our old MLS. What I have done a search. The search criteria is Bolingbrook, Aurora, Plainfield, and Naperville. These are all areas that are within, you know, this is probably within a 10-mile radius or less of where I'm sitting right now. So I am looking at the information, sales information for those 4 towns. And out of those 4 cities, there's probably there's probably 500,000 people, roughly. I know there's 200,000 people in Aurora. I don't know how many homeowners there are there, but you know, it's probably less than half. And then there's there's about 500,000. So out of 500,000 homes right around here, in the last 30 days, is anybody listing their house? I mean, I hear from agents, there's nobody doing anything. The real estate market's dead.
They're all coming soon.
Is there anyone actively looking to sell their house? Out of this area, there is, of new listings that came on the market, there's 78. So there are 78 realtors that have active listings that just came on the market right there. So there's definitely people that want to sell. Now let's look at the last 30 days. Has there been any activity, or is there nothing going on? Has anybody put a contract on a property in the last 30 days to purchase it? Let me look. 771 houses were sold in the last 30 days in this area, just in the 10 miles around here. And Chanel, you're further up north. So if you took a 10-mile radius around your area, you're going to see the same numbers. So are there people still buying and selling properties? Well, in the last 30 days, 771 homes were sold. That's just ones that went under contract, okay? So was there any closings, or there's not any closings. Everything's dead. Everything's closed down, man. You can't do anything. Well, 411 closings. So 411 agents got paychecks just in this, 10-mile radius around here in the last 30 days. So
yeah. Pushkar's saying there's even more, because if you include attached single families,
Pushkar, I appreciate you.
There's actually more.
Being the analytical. That's just homes.
But that's
Let's
not all.
Look at condos and townhouses. You can add another 174 that closed. And how many new came on the market? Man, push car, that was a good point. I knew I was going to get that wrong. New listings, there's 40. So let's see how many of those, and that's a good point too, because that tells me what's, selling and what isn't right now. So 251 went under contract. How many homes? 771. So it's about 3-to-1 single family homes over townhouses and condos. So I normally focus on trying to get listings at, single family home listings. So, that's probably the way to go still. There's just more of those sales happening. I know there's probably more homes, but it's not 3-to-1, I don't think. Anyway, so there's activity right now.
Another quick note on that too. The homes that are going to have the most activity right now is going to be that like middle of the market ones. Your luxury properties are probably not going to see as much activity, and even like your really, really bottom of the barrel ones. But that like the mid market, like for us in the Bay Area, the mid market range is going to be like 600,000 to like 800,000. Wherever whatever your area is, find that middle gap. That's probably where you want to put a lot of your attention, because those kind of people are going to be still doing transactions at a higher frequency.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And I've been really focused, actually for the last year on properties under 700,000. Our average price point around here is probably in the 350, maybe a little higher. I try to focus on stuff like 500 and less, because those are what are selling quickly, and even more so now. I would not bother with $1 million properties in our market right now. I mean, maybe a year from now, but it's just not a good business model to go after those. So let me look at something else I saw today, and this comes from a lender. This is a really interesting point. So market cycles happen all the time. We're especially real estate. The economy goes in cycles. This is not a new scenario, and I'm going to steal some stuff from Michael Ireland, who talked earlier, but these are not new scenarios that we're seeing. It seems like the end of the world right now. I know if you feed into the media, which I tell you not to do, I try not to do it at all. It sounds like the end of the world, and nobody can work, blah, 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 everybody's losing their job. But these scenarios have happened before, okay? The most important thing we can do is not panic. If we panic, we do not make good decisions, okay? You cannot make a good decision in a panic mode. We have to be calm about it, all right? So if this is calming at all, I wanted to share this. Now, as we all know, 2008, we had a major market condition where basically everything, the floor fell out of everything. The stock market completely crashed. The housing market was a mess. We went into what we call now the Great Recession. The only reason it wasn't called a depression is, from what I understand, is the GDP level has to be, I think, 30% or something like that. And we were like 24%. So we were almost in a depression, but not. So these have happened. Recessions happen like every 10 years or so. This is what Goldman Sachs predicts. And they're usually, they know what they're doing. They've been around for hundreds of years plus, whatever. They're one of the mainstays on Wall Street. GDP forecast for the first quarter is going to be around -6%. In the second quarter, it's going to be a bitch. It's going to be down 24%, but they expect a quick rebound. Why is that? This is different than it was in 2008. 2008 was driven by banking issues in the real estate market. It was because of subprime loans. That was what the catalyst was for the whole thing. So naturally, everybody's going into foreclosure. They're over leveraged. They were writing loans. For those of you that weren't there at the time, involved or paying attention, they were giving loans to people that did not have jobs, like at 110, 125% loan to value. So they were giving them more money than the house was even worth in a market that was overinflated. I mean, it was kind of common sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, the 2008 was our industry, but like, if you compare it to like 9/11, for example, when the markets were affected, then it was an external force impacting the market, not within our industry, which is why things started taking off after that again.
And the point is here, that we seem to be in that we're in an external force, issue or crisis. It's not housing related. So here's the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recessions. And here's what happened to the home prices. This is amazing if I'm looking at this. Yep. So 2008, I'm surprised we only went down 19.7%. I thought it was like 40%. But that's what happened in 2008. And that was driven by the housing market. That was what caused it. That's why we went into recession. In 2001, we had a recession. Housing prices went up 6%. In 1991, we had a recession. Housing prices went down 1.9%. In 81, that's when, interest rates were like 19%. Housing prices went up 3.5. In 1980, they went up 6.1% in that range. So what does that tell me? It tells me that I don't want to panic too much. I don't want to quit what I'm doing. I don't want to, run for the hills, because the reality and history shows us there's a very good likelihood that this is just a blip in the radar. Is it going to slow down? Goldman Sachs thinks the next quarter, we're in the second quarter right now. Boom.
Today.
All right. This is where we're at. So is the second quarter going to suck? Probably. But what I'm doing, and what a lot of top producers and what a lot of you are hopefully going to do, is take this time to get better at what you're doing. It's a perfect time for me to look at all my business systems and make sure that I have everything tightened up. I have all my, marketing materials ready to go. I have, I get up to date on, I want to always pay attention to what's going on in the market, and I know my market stats. But this is a great time to start role playing and practicing scripts if you're making phone calls. This is a great time to, it's okay to practice by, watching some webinars on how to run a successful open house. Take advantage of the stuff that's going on in EXP world. It's going on 60 to 90 times a week, from what I understand, the training in there. All right, so there's training in there. If you say to yourself, I want to be the best KV core lead generator in the industry and dominate playing field over the next year, this is a perfect time to get dialed in and take a couple hours a day after you do prospecting. Take a couple hours a day to learn that stuff and start to implement a plan. So let me look and see what else he says here. Oh, I'm sorry about that. He did say the world is going to end in about 30 more days. So other than that, it's not that bad of news. It really isn't that bad. So Jesse, what do you got for me, buddy?
Can you forward that out to everybody, Steve?
I will. Yeah.
It's just a good reminder mentally, I think.
I mean, honestly, if you would have asked me, do home prices go down every recession? I would have said, of course. Sometimes it's only like 5 or 10%. Not true. Not true. They usually go up during a recession. So we're probably going to see a short blip in the radar, and it could last for 6 months. It could last for 9 months, but this is a great time to get more disciplined, more prepared. And one of the things Michael said that really made sense to me and really rang home was, we've been on a smooth sailing yacht. We've been on a ship, a sailing ship. What do you call it? A yacht, basically, just sailing through the water, no problem. Everything's going great. A cruise. Yeah, there you go. A cruise. And where are we at now? What's my mindset? Where have I shifted? I'm on a battleship right now. Okay. I'm going into battleship mode. I'm going to tighten everything up. I'm not going to sit around and relax more. I'm not going to, have a fancy dinner with the right wine. I'm going to probably eat some macaroni and cheese a little bit more. I'm going to cut my expenses. I'm going to prepare for frickin' battle, because and I know this, guys, for the last 7 years, I've been prospecting and, taking listings. I take about 60, 70 listings a year. Every single time I get complacent, and I have a listing inventory of, whether it's 12, 15, or 25 listings, and they start to go under contract and I start to get checks coming in, in the back of my mind, I have the tendency to take my foot off the gas and relax a little bit. And then, there's 10 listings, maybe if you got 25 in your inventory, there's always 5 or 10 that aren't selling. One day those all start selling and everything goes under contract. And where am I at? I've been chilling out for about a week, maybe backed off my calls a little bit. And I always say to myself, why did I not push harder during that time to try to get more listings? That's what's going to happen right now. That's what's going to happen over the next 6 months. If you can go out there and take, 2 or 3 listings a month over the next 6 months, they might not sell right away, but you're getting a 6-month listing contract. So you are going to show them the plan. If the plan is we put it on the private listing network for the first 30 days, we market it to Facebook doing ads and, squeeze pages and landing pages to collect leads for you. Then we put it on the market as soon as things open up on May 1st. We monitor the market, which, we're studying homes and prices every day and what's going on. So we can give you that information on a daily and weekly basis. We can make adjustments. If the market, is way down, then we have to make an adjustment if you're not getting any activity. So you have a plan for that 6 months, but I can guarantee you when things start to get better, you're going to really hope that you have a lot of inventory for listings. And that's what I'm focused on. So
yeah, I was listening to a guy this morning. He flips about 600 homes a year. And he said, the people that are afraid and scared and not going to do well in the next, 90 days are the people that have no plan or they don't have a plan they're going to stick with. And so if you guys work together and keep each other accountable and work a plan, we're going to all get through this. We're going to come out and, like Helen said, be victorious. We're going to get through this.
Right.
You got to have a plan though.
And that's what Michael and John Sy were saying in the last call. And this comes from experience. Michael's been through a couple of, recessions or downturns in the market, at least 2. And he said what's the most important thing that he's done during those times is to get more disciplined about his schedule, because we all have a tendency right now I'm going to tell you right now, on the way into my office today, I thought to myself, this is a perfect time not to do a damn thing. Nobody's going to judge me. Nobody, I guarantee half of the agents out there are not doing their normal routine right now. I could go home and sit there and watch Netflix and nobody's going to care because, if I'm buying into the nobody's doing shit, that's what I'm going to be doing. But,
or you'll be like, nobody's doing anything. I'm going to do everything I can.
Right.
Let me tell you a quick little joke / story. There's this guy. You probably heard this before. He's a salesman for a shoe company. New guy. He's like, okay, we're sending you to a new market. They send him to this third world country, and he gets there and he's like, oh man, nobody wears shoes here. So I guess I can't really sell any shoes. He comes back. They send out somebody else. New guy. He's all pumped. He looks around. He's like, nobody's got shoes. He tells him, he's like, nobody has shoes here. I can sell shoes to everybody. Right. So it was just like a little shift in his mindset. Like, how are you going to look at things?
It's all about what we believe and what we perceive, and that becomes our reality. And, right now it's focus on what you can change. There's so many things I can't change out there, but there's a few things that I can change, and there's a few actions I can take that are going to make the world a difference and, keep me up in that top percentage of real estate agents. And any one of you on this call can get there over the next 6 months in this type of market. This is the perfect market to get dialed in, to make a plan, to stick to that plan through a schedule, and to have accountability. How do we do accountability? This is accountability, guys. Coming to this call twice a week, if it's a negative for you, you're in the wrong business. You're coming here and you're being accountable, not to me or anyone else really, but yourself. but that's what it's all about. Ultimately, we all have to be accountable to ourselves, and that integrity you're going to get from being accountable to what you say you're going to do and doing these little things is what's going to make all the difference in your mindset. And you're going to be the one that rises to the top. So Jesse, go to the next screen. Accountability, either you run the day or the day runs you.
We talked about schedule last week, right? So obviously we all make a schedule, and hopefully everybody did make their schedule. But you still got to focus on fulfilling the schedule, right? So we made the schedule. Awesome. Like, congratulate, celebrate that. But now we gotta run the day, or the day's gonna just run us, and your phone's gonna run ragged, and the news will come on, and someone will, did you hear? It gets crazy, right? There's interruptions everywhere. So we have to run the day, and be accountable to our own schedule before anybody else. And we're gonna talk about accountability partners, but before that happens, you have to be an accountable person. So what is an accountable person? It's somebody that responds to emails, texts, and phone calls. It's someone that does what they promise they're going to do. It's someone that takes responsibility for their actions. If you're accountable, you don't place the blame. You don't make excuses. You're honest. You're ethical. You're transparent. You demonstrate outcomes. You review, hey, where do we mess up? How can we evaluate? How can we fix this? You accept and you own the results. So that's if you're an accountable person. And that's what we're striving to be. Before you even join this, a call every week, or you first have to own the results. So if they're great, awesome. And if they're not great, you own those as well. That's an accountable person.
Awesome.
So let's talk about accountability partners, Steve.
Yeah. So, all right. This is something that we've done, and I still do this. This is something that we do as a group still. So I actually am in an accountability group for 5 a.m. So we do a lot of this now through WhatsApp. If you're not on WhatsApp, you can still do it, but just get WhatsApp, okay? Everybody here has a smartphone. Nobody has a flip phone or whatever they used to have. Everyone here has a smartphone, so everyone has access to an app called WhatsApp. Get the WhatsApp if you don't already have it. You can get into our 5 a.m. Wake Up Accountability Group. What is that? All it is you get up at 5 a.m. and you check in, okay? If you want to take that to a next level because you say, Steve, I'm going to check in, but I'm not going to be awake, guess what? We have a 5 a.m. accountability group that works out now. Because everybody's stuck at home doing nothing, it's really important that we stay in shape and we have energy. And so you can get on the 5 a.m. accountability workout group. So we have that. If you want to get in any of these, send me a text or send me a WhatsApp and I'll get you in. Role play check. There is role play groups within our group. Okay. If you didn't know that, there is. What scripts are they using? They're using the same scripts pretty much word by, verbatim to what we have in our website. You can use that script. They will understand you. So what does that mean? That means role play is basically, you get up, you have a certain time that you call somebody else in the role play group and you go over the scripts and pretend like you're making the phone calls and they're the person on the other line. All right. You do that for 30 minutes a day. It's been recommended every day of the week. I would say if you do it 3 times a week, you're going to be a superstar. Prospecting. We have accountability groups prospecting. We used to have one that I sent out. If you want to get on one that has about 40 people, or not 40, there was about 10 people on there today. I have a group. I can send you a link. We're there every day to keep you accountable so you can feel accountable and good about what you're doing on the phone. It's like being in an office with a bunch of other people, except it's just on your computer. Prospecting. So appointments, you're not going to really go on appointments right now, but you can set up Zoom call appointments with prospects, okay? If somebody really is motivated, they will set this up. If you want to set up an appointment for May 5th, you can do that as well. If you do, just make sure you follow up with the people frequently that they haven't changed their mind or, that they're not open to doing a Zoom call of some sort.
Steve, so what it sounds like is you have different accountability partners for different things or different groups of people you're accountable to for these different things, right? All these
Yes.
goals, all these things on your schedule.
Yes, for the main stuff in my daily schedule, I have accountability groups that I'm in. That basically is getting up on time and doing the most important things, which is really it's all prospecting. That's the most important thing on my schedule. If I get up on time and I prospect, I'm going to make over $350,000 a year guaranteed.
So let's talk about some methods of accountability. What can you do? How can you be accountable? Send a picture of what you're eating if you're trying to have a health goal that you're trying to accomplish. A video of yourself doing your squats and your push-ups. I know John Sy is like everywhere, like doing 1,000 push-ups and everything every day, right? So, I mean, that's accountability. Putting it out there, that's how you stay accountable. Doing a screenshot of your dialer, giving your phone to someone. Steve has given his phone to like his assistant or somebody and they lock it up, right?
Yeah. And with social media, you can be 100% accountable all day long. It could get annoying, but there's really no excuse. I mean, we all could use accountability. Very few of us are really going to use it like we should or really actually do it. But I guarantee you the results are going to be exponential if you get serious about it. And if you're one of those people like me and you're naturally not the most disciplined person in the world, you can go to high levels on social media and post it on your Instagram story. And if you don't post it when you're supposed to be there or doing something, have a $500 check that you've already sent to your accountability partner that they're going to cash.
So that brings up, so a lot of times money is motivator for people, right? So you can use, there's an app called Stick.com where you can go on there and say, hey, if I don't hit this goal, I'm going to pay so-and-so. And you literally connect it to them, to their PayPal or whatever, their account, and it'll pay them if you don't hit that goal. And there's ways that you have to verify that you hit your goal. So if it's like prospecting and you say, I'm going to prospect 30 contacts and you don't, by that time, it will deduct from your credit card and pay that person. So if you want to tie it to like a pain of like, man, money coming out of my pocket for not doing my goal, go to stick.com and it'll actually set it all up for you. Same thing with any other type of goal. You just decide what type of goal. One last thing here too, another app you can use. So that's stick.com. You can also use something like Rescue Time. This will actually track what are you doing on your computer and on your phone. And it'll give you like, hey, you spent 3 hours today on YouTube when you should have spent 3 hours, on a dialer or some other tool. So you can use apps like these, and these are, free to use to keep you from getting distracted and help you stay accountable. So.
All right, John, are you on the call by chance? Let me see here.
There he is.
Yeah, buddy. Hey.
Hey, John, how you doing,
Hey,
man?
Good, man. How are you?
Very good, John. I appreciate you being with us. And I was telling everybody that's on this call that the importance of trying to be at the previous call on Wednesdays that you do at 1 o'clock. And, it's just another level of accountability and mindset and motivation and everything else. So, John, you are the most disciplined person on the face of the planet that does what we do. And I just wanted you to share for just 2 minutes. You're human. There's stuff going around in your market right now, just like there is here. You're up in Vancouver, British Columbia, but we're all affected by this, and it's definitely a change. So, in regards to your daily schedule and accountability, what is important to you right now? What are you doing different, or how's that look?
It's doubled up on everything, man. Right now, doubling up on meditation. So once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and actually, no, I already do 2. So now I do 3. And then I'm doubling up on the workout, 5 a.m. with a group, and then 5 p.m. If I can't get a group, I'll do it on my own. And reading and journaling. So the miracle morning routine, you got to just double up. You got to do it once in the morning and once at night. Because right now, everything is mindset. Like, it's almost 100% mindset right now. Would you agree with that, Steve?
100%, I agree with it. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, if not, you got to double up. Like right now I'm talking, I used to talk to 50 people. I took it down to 25, but I'm upping it to 40 again. Because what else do I have to do all day, right? Connecting with my clients, past clients, center of influence, expired listings for sale by owners. And, you know, now we're talking to our current clients, current listings more, current buyers more. What, like, every day there's a change in the marketplace and there's a change from the government. So we need to keep them updated. So doubling up and over communicating with them and keep you busy all day. Like you literally can't run out of things to do in terms of updating people and being in communication. So I encourage everybody on this call is to, you know, take care of your head, take care of your mind. Because right now our minds are going like this. I'm positive, I'm depressed. I'm doing great, I want to kill myself. Like it goes like this 1,000 times a day right now. So to take care of your mindset is first and foremost, get up, get moving, read, journal, meditate. Right now we're doing an hour in the morning and an hour at night. And, you know, we're just staying connected through Zoom. So if you guys want the prospecting link as well as the workout link, let me know. I'll send you guys everything that you need. We're here to support each other, and reach out to me. If you need your mindset straightened up, call me. I'll set you straight.
Thanks a lot, John. I appreciate it. And guys, I called John today, or I emailed him or text, whatever, WhatsApped him. I said, dude, I told everybody at the beginning I couldn't pick up the phone today. And I said, what should I tell people? And he said, the same thing you always do. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And I said, first 10 calls I made, I had, everybody was actually really in a good mood, and I got one really, really good lead. So it's out there, man. We just got to take the action. Thanks, John.
Yeah. And same, Steve, like a couple of days ago, I was feeling a little bit down on myself, and I just texted, just being in communication with Steve, like, Hey, how are you doing this? And he's like, man, just doing it. And I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. Just take the action. Like nothing, your answer was the same as the one that I gave you today. Nothing changes. Go ahead and go and take the action, and it'll happen. But we're not taking the actions because our minds are fucked up.
Fear, because we have all this fear about what people are thinking and what they're going to say. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. All we can control is what we do and the actions that we take. And that's what's going to make the difference. That's it. It's not what's going on around us. It's what we're doing and the actions we're taking. So, just if you guys have, if you're listening to all this going, yeah, but you guys have been doing this a long time, you know what you're doing, just call or text or reach out to John or myself or Jesse. And I guarantee it will be a positive result for you. It's going to help. We do it too. So. All right. Anything else? Thanks, John. We're going to end it here in a minute. Jesse, you got anything?
It looks like people want the link for the prospecting. So maybe we can send that out. I don't know what happened to the audio. Did you mute yourself, Steve?
I'm sorry. Okay. I will send out the link to the prospecting hangout, which is, it pretty much goes on about half of the day, all day. And the link to role play. Okay, there's the link right there. We'll keep this up for a minute so everybody can cut and paste. I'll send it out in the WhatsApp as well to everybody in this call. And Pushkar, are you on right now? Could you type? Okay, Pushkar, could you email everybody in the group the link for the prospecting hangout, which is that Zoom right there? And also, Chanel, the role play and the practice, the role play is in WhatsApp in that mastermind group. If you, I know there's another group in WhatsApp, but if you go in there, I'll send that out to you. I'll send that out to you, and I'll have Pushkar send it out. And what's the other one that we wanted to get to them?
Oh, the morning, maybe the fitness one if somebody wants.
Yes. I'll send that to Pushkar. So we'll send out the 3 accountability groups. So you guys have links all in one email. Yes,
you also were going to send out that email with the gross debt charts.
With the business plan?
The GDP quarter.
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
From the beginning of the call.
So GDP, email, and the 3 links. Okay, we'll send that out here in about the next 10 minutes. Any other questions?
No, that E in EXP behind you looks like a halo, Steve.
I know. That's exactly why I put it right where it is. That's why I shave my head on a regular basis too, so it glows. I'm an angel.
Awesome.
Every day.
You are.
Guys, I really appreciate it. We'll be in touch Friday. If you have any questions in the meantime, let me know, and you'll see an email here in the next 10, 15 minutes. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, John.
You.
So
Thank you,
much.
John.
Thank you, Steve.